Hey gang, AV here. Welcome to my review of the Boss Fight Studios Court of the Dead Kier, the Valkyrie of the Dead figure. Here she is in the box, and yes, she's a boxed figure from Boss Fight Studios. Not the typical collector-friendly card that we're used to seeing. This is a boxed figure with a window, so you can see the figure and the vast majority of her accessories there in the window itself. It says Court of the Dead up top. This is a licensed product from, I believe it's a Sideshow property. It says Kier down here, Valkyrie of the Dead. Tiny little Boss Fight Studio logo down there in the corner. What else did it say there? Adult collectible, ages 12 and up. Okay. Up there is a symbol. I'm not sure what that means. On the side, there's some nice artwork. On the side, it says Court of the Dead. On the bottom, you get some legal stuff. And on the back, you get some obligatory product shots with a small write-up of Kier, the Valkyrie of the Dead, right there. If you'd like to read it, feel free to pause the video and do so now. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't even read that yet. I don't really know a lot about this character. I just ordered her because I thought she looked cool, and she does come with wings, although she's not pictured with the wings on the box. I did open the figure up. She does have wings, and we're going to have a closer look at the wings as well as the rest of the figure right now. So I already cut the tape and checked everything out prior to making the video. Full disclosure. After you get the figure out, there is a little insert in there, little backdrop, which looks like ruined columns. So, understandably, that's why I did my backdrop that way. All right, so she has a 3-piece clamshell construction, basically. You have actually 4 pieces. You have the cover sheet right here, comes off. There is a second cover sheet inside to cover the figure. Now we can get the figure out. Alternate head. Extra hands. I know, this is everybody's favorite part of the video. Me actually wasting time getting everything out of the box. Everybody else edits this part out, but I don't. Why? Because I think it's important to see me struggle to get this stuff out of here. That's just my opinion. I'm sure many of you out there disagree with me, but you know, that's okay. In this world, we're allowed to have altering opinions. I mean, that's just the way it is. So that's that part of the clamshell, and then the vinyl part, you have the wings, which are transparent blue, which I honestly wasn't expecting. I know the write-up said that she would have wings when I pre-ordered her like a year and a half ago, but they didn't show any pictures of the wings at the time. And I don't have any knowledge of the figure prior to this, so the blue transparent wings are a surprise to me. They are nice, very nicely sculpted. You can tell that there is a very nice sculpt on there. It is reminiscent of the Pegasus wings with all the feathers. That you can tell they actually took the time to actually sculpt the edges of the feathers. However, because this is a blue transparent plastic, a lot of that sculpted detail is kind of lost. These would really, really benefit from a repaint job. To really bring that molded detail out. A nice white with a gray wash on there, for example, would really pull the sculpt on these out. But anyway, so you have alternating right and left. They are hinged at the shoulder blade with a peg that plugs into the figure's back. I will demonstrate that in a minute. She does have a figure base, which has that same symbol that was on top of the box, and 2 foot pegs on there. There is nothing written on the base itself, however, except for the copyright information at the bottom. It says Court of the Dead. blah, blah, blah. Not sure if you can read that. Let me see if I can angle it so you can. All right. She has 2 alternate hands. These appear to be the typical, at this point, typical spell casting hands. So you have the, what would that be? The left hand? With like a typical like hocus pocus kind of pose. And then you have the right hand with the 2 fingers up, kind of like the, kind of like a Doctor Strange pose. All right, you do have an alternate head here. This is the unmasked head. Get the light in here a little bit better. There we are. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. The hair is a softer plastic, as you can see, and it is permanently glued into the back of her head, it looks like. It is not going to come out. Ball joint for the barbell is already included in there. Nice paint. Nice sculpt. Good stuff. She also has this sword, which is pretty gnarly looking. It's got a painted blade with some shading effects on there. So it's silver with some gray or black shading effect. Kind of wash it out. A very cool and intricate looking guard on there. Black handle, and then the hilt appears to have some winged creature there. Honestly, with my eyesight, you guys probably have a better look at it than I do right now. That's the back of it, I can tell that. Looks like it's either a bird or another Valkyrie. Not sure. I'll have to look at it under the magnifying glass. I'm not getting any younger. Alright, so anyway, here's the figure herself, and she does present very cool. I do like the helmet quite a lot. The chest armor is very cool. Loincloth. The red arms and feet is a little misleading. It looks like she's wearing gloves and boots, but she's not. She's actually barefoot. So it's just her skin is colored red. Kind of cool. She does have a cape. The cape is a very soft and pliable plastic. However, as you can see, it clings pretty closely to her shoulders. There are no holes to accommodate the wings, and especially because of her hair being back there, trying to get this up high enough to actually plug the wings in while keeping the cape on is simply not worth it. It's just not going to look right if you try to do that. So the only way you can actually get the figure to look right with the wings attached is to remove the cape. Unfortunately, I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do that, but that is the way it is. I did do this successfully earlier today. Let's see if I can do it again now. There we go, there's one. Plugging this one in. All right, so as you can see, presents very nicely, very cool. I do think it would look even cooler if she had her cape on, but unfortunately she can't. But the wings, as you can see, can pose up and down because of the ball joint, and they have a hinge so they can swing in and out. They swing in this far, out all the way. They can kind of wrap around her about like that much because of the sculpt. Kind of cool though. We needed feathered wings for this, for the actual figures. We had bat wings, we had skeletal wings. Now we have finally feathered wings, which is awesome. So let's get things off of her, and we'll start doing the articulation aspect of the review. So her head is on a barbell joint, as I demonstrated, offers an awesome range of motion. So she can look up, She can look down. She can look side to side. She can even do a little forward and back. Not much, but it's there. Tilt the head side to side. Arms can do a full 360. They can go up very high. Nothing at the bicep, although this is a separate piece of armor. Elbows can spin full 360 degrees. They can also bend a little over 90 and hyperextend even a little bit if you want. Wrists, full 360 degree rotation. They also have the hinge, so they bend down and up. Now, she is a newer female figure from Boss Fight Studios. They went to a different design for the female torso. So she does have quite a bit of motion up here at the diaphragm joint. Oh, popped her in half there. All right, come on now. It's funny, like I'm still getting used to this joint on these figures. If you'll remember, one of my figures I reviewed from the all-female wave not too long ago, I couldn't even get the figure apart. It wasn't until I reviewed the figure after that I actually realized I was able to disassemble the figures again. This one comes apart a little easier, but anyway. But she still holds together fine, still stiff, still holds a pose. No worries. So anyway, she can bend backwards about that far without ripping her in half. She can bend forward about, well, not really that much, honestly. It's almost flat. A little bit. She can do a little bit of a crunch, but not much. She's also got a twist there at the diaphragm joint because of the ball joint assembly, and you can see her chest armor doesn't hinder that at all. She also has another swivel joint, if you can see the gap right there. So she does twist right there too. That's also part of the figure's construction. Legs, kick her legs up about that high. Back, not at all, because of her rump is in the way. She can do the splits about like that. She does have an upper thigh cut on both legs, allowing her to rotate all the way around. That's a new piece of articulation there. Double jointed knees, kick her heels back about that far, almost all the way. Ankles have a pivot, so you can point your toes down, point your toes up, and they have the nice rocker joint. And you can see there she has foot pegs in her heels. So excellent articulation on the figure, and like I said, it's a new construction for the female figures. I'm still kind of getting used to it. You can see she can hold her sword just fine. She can stand up without the base just fine. All I got to do is just position her feet correctly. Very cool figure. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. We'll do some size comparison now. Here she is next to a 3 3/4 inch vintage G.I. Joe figure. As you can see, she stands a little bit taller than him, which she should because she is part of a 4-inch figure line. The same can be true for your typical vintage collection Star Wars figures. Luke here is no exception. He is a 3 3/4 inch figure and looks noticeably shorter than she does. Here is a more modern 1/18 scale G.I. Joe figure, Dollar General Cobra Trooper. As you can see, she measures up just fine with him. Here is another Boss Fight Studio figure from a different line, the fantasy line for the hacks. So you can see how she measures up next to him. Marvel Universe Captain America figure. And last but not least, we have Master Chief. So all in all, I think she's a very cool figure. I really dig the wings. My only gripe really is the fact that I can't put the wings on with the cape, because I do kind of like the cape. And I think it adds a nice aesthetic to the character. I like the torn aspect at the bottom. I like the fact that it's red because it kind of helps go with the arms and legs. I wish I could pose her with the cape and the wings, personally. I'm not familiar enough with the character to know if if she's ever seen with the wings and the cape at the same time. I don't know if the cape turns into the wings. I'm not familiar enough with the character to be able to answer those questions. But I know for me, personally, aesthetically, if I wanted to put her on the shelf, I would like to see both on the figure. Anyway, I really do think she's cool. The new packaging was unexpected. I really wasn't expecting it to be a box figure when it came in the mail today. I'm all right with it. Doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I collect all my Hiya Toys figures. They're boxed. You know, it's fine. It is what it is. I will say that she is, because she's a licensed figure, she is slightly more expensive. I believe she was $27.99 when I pre-ordered her. Not sure how much she will be at retail when she is available to the public. But she is pretty cool. I am impressed. I do like her. And I'm glad I ordered her. So anyway, this has been AV. This has been my review of the Court of the Dead Kier, the Valkyrie of the Dead figure. If you liked it, from Boss Fight Studios. If you like this video, check out my channel, where you'll see a whole bunch of other 1/18 scale action figure content, figures, vehicles, accessories, you name it, from all different types of toy lines. I even do a little bit of 1/12 reviews here now and then, as well as comic book related content as well. Plenty for you to check out there. Check out the video description down below for my eBay store, my Shortboxed store, the Plastic Underworld website where I get a lot of my figures from, and so on and so forth. As always, thanks for watching and take care.